So at the end of part one, I was really depressed. I didn't know where I was going with this car. It just seemed that everything I looked into was going wrong, and it was starting to cost a lot of money fixing all these things. And I really needed some good news. So what I did is I purchased another BCM, body control module. I found one for $150 plus tax, so they confirmed that it was correct for my vehicle. I called the Mini dealership to get an appointment to get it programmed. They mentioned that there's a recall on this Mini, and the recall is for FMR3 module, footwell module. And I look into it, and it talks about corrosion. It talks about problems with your headlights, with other lights, with power windows. It talks about everything that I have wrong on my car. Appointment for next Wednesday. Right now we're Monday, so that's a week and 2 days away. And in the meantime, I can't just, keep the car sitting here. I got to keep moving. Wow. Look at that. I don't know what module that is, but it's just a little bit oxidated. I'll have to figure out what that is. How bad is it? Alrighty, there's stagnating water here. So, do we have any fish living in here? Here's the quantity of water that I managed to get out of the vehicle. Here's the current setup. We've got a fan inside. We've got a fan outside. We've got the dehumidifier that's on. I'm gonna boost the temperature in the garage to 22, 23 degrees to get some nice heat inside and hope that it dries out faster. Keep your fingers crossed. Because I can't use my rust remover, because I can't dip this inside that fluid, I'm going to use a rust converter. So basically it converts rust to a paintable surface. It did a nice job. There's some areas where it lifted the paint a bit. Scrape that off. Time to protect. I'm back at my favorite place for the Mini, which is the scrapyard. And today I'm going to get the yaw speed sensor module, or the speed sensor module for the Mini. And there it is. Nice and clean, no corrosion on that one. And I even managed to find $2.36. So the $5 entrance fee, it won't be $5, it'll be a little less than that. So let's take it out and go back home and plug it in. Super. Broke off. That's not going anywhere. How good does that look? Same thing as on the floor, on the seat rails. I'm going to apply some rust converter. The original module is going back in. Car has to be driven to the mini dealership to get the recall done. I'm going to put the carpet back on, but I'm not going to put the panel because they're going to be taking that off anyways to do the recall. So I checked the grounds and they're clean. There wasn't any corrosion on the contacts. Both of them, this one too. So it wasn't a ground issue to my knowledge. I've prepared a little mixture of carpet cleaner. So with the brush, we're going to try and clean certain areas. Driver's side. Interior looking nice and fine. We'll put the seat back in. And this is why we're changing the valve cover gasket and the little rings that are inside. My God. I can't even see the head of the spark plug. It's full. Full. Oh yeah, I saw someplace you have to put a little tab of silicone over here. That's why it's not coming off at the corner. There we go. I think. I didn't use any force whatsoever to take these, to unscrew them. Oh man. Car is full of surprises. So there's a bit of oil that's going into the cylinders. So that's going to create lots of nice smoke. And I'm going to start it up. So after being cleaned, okay, wires caught up. let's get the bolts in. Well, if we can just set this aside, we'll be fine. So I just pull that one off. And let's just twist it and put it aside. 11 millimeter. Oh, it's out. It's out, it's out, it's out. Okay, so that one worked. Now let's go do the other one. There it goes. All right, so I'm under the car now, and I've located the bolt that needs to be undone to be able to take off the handbrake cable. Right there on the support. And while I was under here, so I'd already checked the rear subframe, and it's not rusted out. There's no holes in it. But this is what I just saw. So this is the left bottom suspension arm that's in a little bit bent. So I'm going to have to get another one and replace that. So I do have to take the exhaust heat shield off under the car. So to take this one off here to have access to the cables and the attachments further on. So I have to take the exhaust down. What's going to be good about that though is that I have some attachments to fix or to change, because this heat shield, even for the exhaust in the back, is not holding on properly. You see the areas where it's supposed to be attached, it's rotten through. So let's get to it. So they're pushed out. That's what I managed to do when I was in the car. I need a little bolt. All right, that's one out. And here are our brake lines. Our left rear lower suspension arm. So this is a brace underneath the vehicle. I've already repainted the front subframe. I'm going to be painting the rear subframe, and I guess I might as well take care of this one also. I try and scrape off as much as the rust and grease that I can. So that'll help accelerate the treatment with the Pore 15 rust remover. So the part is completely covered in the anti-rust, or rust remover I should say. So we'll come back in 24 hours and see how the part is. Let's get this new used suspension arm in. I'm going to start with the bottom. Clean the bolts on the wire brush so they can go in easily. Okay, that's in. That wasn't a good idea. Okay. So I've already got the right side in. I'm going to do the left side now. Okay, that's how it's going to go. So see, free movement, that's what we want. So it's just maintained in place with these little clip. It's a question of pushing it in and wait for the click. There we go, click. Guides here, guide there. Properly clipped in. Perfect. The cables are too tight. I can put one side on but not the other. So I'm gonna slack off the cable here. Can I pull this up? Okay, that's good. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I have to pull pretty hard for that fourth one. Both cables are real tight. Okay, so the adjustment is done for the handbrake cable. So the heat shield for the muffler was corroded around the attachment points. So what I did is I, instead of changing the heat shield, which cost more than $100, because basically all the rest is good. It's just around the attachment points. So what I made is I made a little plate, and I can put it over the bolts, and it'll keep it tight because it's wider than the area that's oxidated. And I'm going to smother it with copper grease, which is a high temperature grease, so that the metal here doesn't oxidate fast with the aluminum of the heat shield. So let's get this nicely painted brace back in. So everything is reattached down here. Handbrake cables, exhaust, heat shield. Everything is nice and solid. So I've decided to go back to the original radio, and so basically it doesn't even hold in place. The sides stick out, so just when I was driving it, I touched it once with my knee and it popped off, and it really looks hideous compared to the rest of the interior of the Mini that's very designed. And this is just a sore eye in the car. So it's all one unit. I have to use some degreaser for this. Here we go, after a little bit of a clean. Quite a bit better. No traces of finger grease anymore. So we're ready to be reinstalled with a new panel, or at least a used panel that I'm going to go get at the scrapyard again. Well, I'm at Kenny Upo for the 4th time now for this Mini Cooper. And this one just arrived a couple of days ago, so everything that I need is there. Hey, look at that! So, all plugged in. Everything is working properly. So quite pleased with the result. Everything is back in. Nothing broke. Everything's clipped in and screwed on. I got the antenna at Kinniupol as well. And now I gotta get this thing off. Very rusted. The threads at least are very rusted. I can't put it in heat because that's made out of plastic. It'll melt. I'm going to put some dielectric grease. This will ease the, will help thread the new antenna, and it'll help the electrical contact as well. There we go. WD-40 to get the rest of the double-sided tape off. I'm going to be using this mini logo. I got it at the scrapyard. It comes from the valve cover on the motor. So it's not one that goes out on the outside. So it's not chrome like the other one. It's a bit smaller, but it's nice. So it's going to be going like that, and we have some touch-up to do underneath. So what I'm going to mark the areas that I cannot sand, so that I don't damage the paint at the other places. We're going to apply some rust converter again. So it's going to be important not to put any of this on the paint. Today I've got two items to paint. This is the cover for the towing hook in the front, on the front bumper. So the car was missing one when I bought it, and I got this one from Kinniupol, just like a lot of my other used parts. And we've got our little spot of rust that was on the back. I got a special can of Nightfire Red prepared for me, and this is acrylic enamel. It already has the clear in it. It's a lot easier to work with like that. Let's see how it goes. So it looks darker than the one that in the original paint. Yep. That's not a catastrophe because that's going to be hidden anyways. I've got my double-sided tape on, all on all the sides. I've got my center mark. And the height and the alignment of the wings are these two lines here. So when I install it, I should be straight and centered, and everything should be beautiful. that. And some water. All right, now some 2000 again. Try and finish it off a bit better. Body-wise, the only issue I have really is the hood. It has been repainted in the past, and there are quite a bit of chip marks from stones. But what's more annoying is there are areas where the clear has been peeled off. So I've got some here, down here, up here, and over here as well. And because repainting a hood is around $1,200 if I bring this to a paint shop, I'm thinking that I'm gonna mask it off with some vinyl wrap to make some stripes, because the areas that are really damaged are the areas where we can put stripes. So this would be one, and this would be the other. So 6 inches wide. I found some glossy black vinyl, and this was actually $10. So if I can get away with that, I'm gonna be super happy. Because we have the windshield washer jets that are in the area that we're going to be putting the wrap on, it'll be a lot easier to take them off. They're just clipped in, than to try and wrap it over around it. So let's try and get them off. Go. So what do you think? Try not to mess this up. Is it better than before? I think the answer is yes. I'm just trying to clean up the spots that have the bigger ones that have a bit of rust on in the back of them. So just to be able to have a proper contact with the metal. No, this primer is very liquid. Can't forget the wheels. Let's see if this rubber and plastic renewer that doesn't have any silicone in it is good. I've had good comments about it, so let's give this a try. So I was told not to spray directly on, but to put it on a cloth and rub it in. This is on the driver's side. This aluminum plate is coming off. Double-sided tape. Let's see if this works. Time for a test drive. Let's see if all the repairs I did are good or not. Test drive's done. So everything related to brakes, suspension, engine, clutch, transmission, everything is good on that. I still have some codes that are showing up though. So I have brake pad rear worn. So I don't know if I didn't connect it properly or something like that because I changed the cable. I'll have to check on that. And I have some new codes. So I have yaw rate sensor error. I have lateral accelerator sensor and longitudinal sensor error. Missing calibration. So the module, the yaw module that I changed under the front passenger seat needs to be programmed or coded or calibrated, I should say, for this vehicle. So I didn't check on that before I changed it, and I'll have to ask them to do that at Mini when I bring it in for the recall as well. I do have wheel speed sensor rear right that's shorted. Footwell module code. It's called clamp 30 amp connection faulty. So is that the pin that's busted? I don't know. I'll wait to see what Mini does with that. I'm not going to investigate any further. When I was testing the ventilation system, that even if I put it on like the vent to the feet or the dash, nothing was changing. It was always stuck on defrost. And I actually have two codes in the air conditioning menu, and that's air mix flap and fresh air or circulation flap. So those two are coding and they're active errors. So I don't know how bad a repair that is if the whole freaking dash has to be taken apart. I'm going to investigate that as well. So, but I'm going to start with the brake pads, the brake pad sensor and the wheel speed sensor. That's all on the rear right. Let's take a look. Found my problem with the brake wear sensor. It wasn't attached anymore. Oh, there we go. I didn't push it in enough the first time. Magnetic ring doesn't look too bad. I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but on the edges of the bearing, where it's attached to the hub, there's a transfer of metal that happened between the hub that's on the vehicle and the bearing support over here. So no more ridge around the bearing support. So that's it's all nice and clean. The top is clean as well. Let's see with our new one. So this has 2.4 ohms resistance, and the other one had 6. So let's try the new one. Any dealership, I just got the Mini back, so they changed FMR3 module, so the body control module, and all under warranty. They changed the drain tubes and they put a different attachment so that they don't come loose or that there's any more water leaks inside the vehicle, so that's cool. They did. I asked them to do a full inspection. They had a promotion regarding that, and the only thing that they found was a crank seal around the pulley that needed to be changed. So I bought the part. I'll be doing that back at home in the garage. And the yaw sensor that I changed under the passenger seat, they're unable to communicate with it. So there might be a wiring issue or a connector issue on that. I'll have to look into that also. On the right track, things are moving along. Maybe just a couple more things to do, and I'll be driving the car for a couple of days just to make sure that everything's fine after I do the final repairs, and then put it up for sale, and hopefully still be able to make a couple of bucks. The crank seal on the pulley side. I had fun with the tensioner to remove the tension on the belt. I didn't have that special tool, so I used my my vice grips, and with the little screwdriver to give some leverage. So I'll show you that when I go to install it again. My vice grip, it's on the head of the tensioner at the top. That's where the special tool is supposed to be attached to. And I have it about in this angle to be able to put a screwdriver in back of the alternator and just pull it back like that. And that way we can release the tensioner. This is one of the stupidest things I've done or not, but the sunroof was still leaking even after the visit at Mini. So I know that the frame on the front left is bent for the sunroof, and so the glass doesn't align all that perfectly with the moldings on the top. There's a little bit of a gap on the left side, and water will get in easily from there. Because the frame is crooked, because the motor is gone, or the gears in the motor is gone, I decided to seal it up completely. So I put some tape to define really well the lines, and I applied some clear 100% silicone. I bought the best quality that I could find to make sure that this lasts a long time. It's an outdoor silicone. At the moment it doesn't look too bad. Let me show you. So it's a nice line. It's really just along the edges. So hopefully that's not a stupid thing that I just did. We'll see. Doing it again. Flickering lights. I think I'm going to put a fire to this car. I'm going to burn it down. It's possessed. It just doesn't want to cooperate. If you guys already read the book Christine by Stephen King, except this one doesn't like its current owner. It's not helping it. It's not helping him. Is the battery dead? Why is the battery dead? Because the hood was open. So, trying to figure out why the car is possessed. And we have our battery voltage that's at 8 volts. And it's very strange because about a couple of hours ago I drove it in. I started it and drove it in the garage. So why are we down to 8 volts? I have no idea. So I'm going to put it on a charge and we're going to see what goes on with that. So maybe everything's going haywire because of the low voltage. Super. I love this car. I just love it. That was the last video that I took of the Mini, and that was 9 months ago. Why so long? Well, I drove the car for several weeks after that, and I kept getting new problems. New oil leak on the engine compartment. The check engine light came on from time to time. Catalytic converter was coding. The ventilation, it was really annoying because it was stuck on hot. Anytime you turned it on, it was just hot, hot, hot. And it was still coating the flaps, the ventilation flaps, and that's behind the dash. So the whole dash has to be taken off to replace it. Sunroof wasn't working, AC wasn't working. The winter tires were really noisy. I didn't have any summer tires. It just needed so much more time and so much more money to fix everything. And to be honest, I would have never been able to recuperate what I put in it. So I just decided to quit, stop there, and sell it as is. There's a gentleman that was interested in it. He's a mechanic. I told him everything that was wrong with the vehicle, and he was good to go with it. So good luck to him. Did I make any money? Nope. Did I lose any money? Yeah, a little bit. But I made peace with that by now. Time does heal, or at least can heal certain things. So time to move on to another project. There's a video coming out real soon regarding timing chains on a Eurovan camper VR6. So that was a big job, but you'll see. Anyways, look at the video. So hope you were entertained. Hope you maybe learned something if you have a Mini. What I learned is to not buy an older Mini, at least the BMW version of Mini. And if you do buy one, make sure you have a really good warranty, or you have a big wallet. So there you go. Take care, and we'll see you soon.